The cat ate my source code. Come on, if you're a programmer, you've definitely heard this one. It's kind of legendary, right? The ultimate, almost mythical excuse for when everything just completely falls apart. But here's the thing, and what we're going to dive into is that this is so much more than just a funny line. Okay, so you'd think a book for programmers would start this chapter with a tech joke, right? But what's so cool is that the authors of The Pragmatic Programmer start with this quote from 1709, and it just hits the nail on the head. This whole thing isn't really about your cat or a crashed hard drive. Nope. It's about something way more human, that deep-seated fear of just appearing weak, of admitting we messed up. So yeah, that phrase, the cat ate my source code, it's really just a stand-in, a metaphor for all the lame excuses. You know the ones I'm talking about. Every single one we hear, and hey, let's be honest, maybe even the ones we're tempted to use ourselves when a deadline slips or a nasty bug shows up out of nowhere. And listen, this isn't just a coder thing. Not at all. This applies to literally any professional. It gets right to the heart of how you view your job. Are you just punching a clock, doing tasks on an assembly line? Or do you see your work as a craft, something you actually care about, something you truly own? So all of this leads us right into the core philosophy of the Pragmatic Programmer. And it's important to get this, it's not just a book full of handy tips. No, it's a whole mindset. It's an approach to your entire career. And it's all built on one thing, professional responsibility. All right, so here's the absolute cornerstone of the whole pragmatic philosophy: taking responsibility. For yourself, for your actions. Simple as that. It means you take the wheel of your own career. You're not scared to say, hey, I don't know this. And you totally own your mistakes. Because, and this is a guarantee, things are going to go wrong. They always do, even on the best projects. And when they do, it's on you. The book has a great word for this: agency. And what that means is you have to see yourself as an active driver, not just a passenger. You're not some passive cog in a big machine who can just blame the system when things break. No way. You're the one with the power to make decisions, to see problems coming, and to actually shape the outcome. So, okay, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, it boils down to accountability. When a mistake happens, you just admit it. Plain and simple. And here's the kind of wild part. Doing that doesn't make you look weak. Just the opposite. It builds trust faster than pretty much anything else. You stop pointing fingers at the vendor, at the programming language, at your coworkers. The buck stops with you. Your job is to provide solutions, not excuses. All right, so we've got the what, the philosophy of responsibility. Now let's get into the how. We're shifting gears to the super practical, actionable steps you can take when, things inevitably hit the fan. And the book gives us this awesome, crystal clear rule: provide options, don't make lame excuses. I love this. The authors even suggest that before you march into your boss's office with bad news, you should try out your excuse on your cat first, or, the rubber duck on your desk. Does it sound like a reasonable explanation, or does it just sound kind of lame? And just look at the difference here. It's night and day, isn't it? One of these is a total dead end. The disk crashed. Full stop. End of story. But the other one, the pragmatic option, it's all about moving forward. It says, yep, there's a problem, but it immediately pivots to the solution, to the plan. It shows you're in control, even when things are chaotic. I mean, just think about it for a second. Put yourself in your boss's shoes. Who would you have more confidence in? The person who just drops a problem on your desk, or the person who comes with the problem and a plan to fix it? The difference is absolutely massive. So instead of just making an excuse, you always have options. You can explain what can be done to salvage the situation. You can suggest ways to stop this from happening again, maybe with better testing or some automation. And this one is so important. Don't be afraid to say you need help. Asking for more resources isn't weakness, it's a sign of strength. See the pattern here? Every single one of these is about moving forward. And this is where that whole idea of individual responsibility has a massive ripple effect on the entire project. Because when we neglect it, when a culture of excuses starts to creep in, the project itself starts to decay. The authors have a name for this: software entropy or software rot. It's what happens when everyone gets silent permission to just let the small problems slide. So software entropy, it's basically the idea that any system, if you leave it alone, will naturally slide into chaos and disorder. But what's really fascinating is that the book argues this isn't really a tech problem. It's a people problem. It's driven by the psychology of the team. We're not just talking about messy code here. We're talking about outdated docs, sloppy communication, just a general feeling of disorder that starts to poison everything. And they use this incredible analogy to explain it, the broken window theory. Just picture this. There's a building, and it has one single, small, broken window. And nobody fixes it. What's the message? The message is nobody cares about this place. So pretty soon, another window gets broken. Then some graffiti shows up. And before you know it, the whole building is just a wreck. The sense of abandonment becomes a reality. This is exactly what happens on our projects. One piece of bad design, one sloppy fix that's left unchecked, it sends the signal that quality isn't a priority here. And that's when the rot really starts to spread. So, what's the pragmatic programmer's response to this? It's simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Don't live with broken windows. Don't let them sit there and fester. When you see a problem, whether it's bad design or just some sloppy code, be the one who steps up and fixes it. Don't wait around thinking someone else will get to it. You have to realize that keeping things clean and high quality is an active fight. You got to constantly be on it. And that brings us right back to where we started, full circle, to the individual developer. Because this whole philosophy, this idea of taking responsibility, it's not supposed to be a heavy burden, not at all. It's meant to be a source of pride. It's the mark of a true craftsman. You see, a pragmatic programmer isn't just an assembly line worker who churns out code. They're a craftsman. Think about a master woodworker or a stonemason. They care deeply about the quality, the elegance, and how long their work will last. They're not just doing a job. They're investing a little piece of themselves into everything they create. The authors of the book, Dave and Andy, they talk about signing their work. And that signature, it's so much more than just their names on a document. It's like a personal guarantee. It's them saying, I built this, I stand behind it, I'm proud of it, and I'm accountable for it. It's the ultimate symbol of quality and real ownership. And so that really brings us to the final question, the one I want to leave you with. Think about your own work, your code, your designs, a presentation, whatever it is. If you were to put your signature on it right now, what would that signature mean? What standard of quality? What level of responsibility does it truly represent?